Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Smile Code, where we explore the art of living authentically, joyfully, and unapologetically, so you can protect not just your happiness, but your truth. I'm your host, Dr. Isi Koidu, and today we're taking a journey through history to find wisdom for our present time. So you'll want to lean in for this one. July 4th was just celebrated here in America, a time of fireworks, parades, barbecues, flag waving. We celebrate freedom, independence, and the bold experiment that is our republic. But what does it really mean to celebrate independence? What does it mean to keep a republic? To protect it? And here's the deeper question. How does authenticity, the courage to live your truth, play a role in sustaining that freedom? Today, we're going to talk about one of the most powerful truth tellers in American history, a man whose courage to stand up and speak authentic, even uncomfortable truths echoes down to us nearly 2 centuries later. His name was Frederick Douglass. On July 5th, 1852, one day after the nation's official Independence Day celebration, Frederick Douglass stepped onto a stage in Rochester, New York. He had been invited to deliver what was expected to be a traditional patriotic Independence Day address. But Douglass was no ordinary orator. Born enslaved, beaten, denied schooling, sold like a piece of property, and yet he rose through unstoppable self-education to become one of the greatest voices for freedom in human history. Now imagine the courage to stand in front of a largely white audience, an audience expecting to hear about America's greatness, about liberty ranging from the mountaintops, and instead to tell them the truth. He said, "This 4th of July is yours, not mine." And with chilling clarity, he said, "What to the American slave is your 4th of July?" And in that moment, Douglass refused to join in shallow celebration. He refused to ignore the suffering of millions still enslaved. And in so doing, he held up a mirror to the nation, forcing it to see its hypocrisy, to feel its discomfort, to confront its unfinished promise. Some in the crowd were shocked. Some were angry. Some were moved to tears because they were hearing the raw, authentic truth. Douglass's speech did not tear down America. It called America to rise higher, to live up to its own ideals. That is the ultimate act of patriotism and the purest form of authentic living. When I think about the Smile Code, about authentic living, I see Frederick Douglass as one of its earliest champions. He showed us that authenticity isn't always comfortable. Sometimes living your truth means taking a huge risk. Sometimes it means refusing to perform or to please, even when everyone expects you to. And sometimes living your truth is exactly what saves the Republic, because freedom and truth are inseparable. Now, this isn't just an American story. Around the world, so many of us face the pressure to stay silent, to fit in, to bury our truth. But no matter where you live, the courage to live authentically is your human right, and it is your responsibility. From Gandhi in India, to Nelson Mandela in South Africa, to Malala Yousafzai in Pakistan, history proves that speaking truth, even when risky, protects freedom for all. So here's where we bring it to you, dear listener. In today's world, a world swirling with half-truths, misinformation, pressure to blend in, to conform, how do you become a keeper of the Republic? How do you become a voice of truth, like Douglass was in his own corner of the world? Maybe it means speaking up for someone who's being ignored. Maybe it means being honest about your boundaries, even if it disappoints others. Maybe it means refusing to stay silent about injustice, even if you stand alone. Maybe it means being vulnerable enough to say, "This is who I really am," and letting the world see you, unmasked, unchecked, raw, and honest. When you do that, we protect not just our own happiness and peace, we protect the very spirit of freedom. The Republic doesn't live only in Washington or in our founding documents. It lives in us, in our courage to live authentically, in our refusal to compromise our integrity, just like Douglass refused to compromise. So, Independence Day was yesterday here in America. And as the celebrations and fireworks settle down, I invite you to ask yourself, what truth needs my voice today? Where have I been quiet when I should have spoken? How can my authenticity keep my inner republic strong? Because, my friend, every time you choose authenticity, you choose freedom. Every time you live your truth, you become a keeper of the Republic. Frederick Douglass showed us that. He showed us the courage to speak your truth is what makes freedom real for yourself and for the world. So as you settle back into the coming week and weeks ahead, after waving the flag and watching all those beautiful, spectacular fireworks, remember that freedom is not fireworks alone. Freedom is a practice. Freedom is truth. Freedom is authenticity. And you, dear listener, are worthy of it and responsible for protecting it in your own beautiful, authentic way. If you found this episode meaningful, please share it with someone you love, someone who might need the courage to speak their own truth. You can also leave a review or comment to help more people discover this movement of authentic living. So until next time, keep smiling, keep shining, and keep living your truth. Remember, you are the Republic. See you soon.